Welcome to Enigma Earth. Our mission is to uncover and share mysterious cases from around the world, including historical and educational mysteries as well as unexplainable phenomena. Today, we are excited to share the 5 most brutal Roman punishment rituals of all time. When we think about the distant past, about the Romans in particular, romanticized images of togas and chariots often cloud our vision. But Rome, like all empires, had a dark side, a brutal side, and nowhere was this more evident than in its punishments. Can you even imagine what it must have been like to live under a system where the most gruesome punishments were not just accepted, but were expected? Where the line between entertainment and atrocity was blurred beyond recognition. These weren't just methods of execution, they were calculated displays of power, designed to instill fear and obedience in the hearts of every citizen. They were grim reminders of what happened to those who dared to defy the iron fist of Rome. Join us, if you dare, as we descend into the depths of history's most ruthless empire and unearth the 5 most brutal Roman punishment rituals of all time. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to learn is not for the faint of heart. Imagine, if you will, the searing pain. Imagine the raw wood scraping against your torn flesh as you're hoisted aloft, your own weight pulling you down on the nails driven through your wrists. Every breath is a struggle, a symphony of agony. This, my friends, was the barbaric reality of crucifixion, a punishment so dreadful it chills us to the bone even today. Crucifixion wasn't just about killing someone, it was about sending a message. The Romans, masters of spectacle, placed these crosses along busy roads, grim signposts for any who dared to question their authority. Travelers, merchants, even children, none were spared the ghastly sight of these poor souls, their lives ebbing away under the relentless gaze of the Roman sun. The agony could last for days. Imagine the thirst, the burning sun, the nights of bone-chilling cold, the victim, stripped naked, exposed to the elements and the scorn of all who passed by. The Romans, you see, they understood the power of fear. They knew that the more gruesome the punishment, the more likely it was to deter future dissent. And what could be more terrifying than the thought of dying slowly, agonizingly, on a cross? Picture this, the roar of the crowd, tens of thousands strong, their cheers and jeers echoing through the massive arena. The air thick with anticipation, the stench of sweat and blood. This wasn't just a sporting event. This was the Colosseum, the heart of Roman entertainment, and a place where death was the ultimate spectacle. Gladiators, slaves, and criminals alike were thrown into the arena, forced to fight for their lives against each other, and against exotic beasts, starved and enraged for the crowd's amusement. Lions with manes stained crimson, tigers with eyes burning with primal fury, elephants trained to crush men with terrifying ease, all unleashed upon the blood-soaked sand. Imagine the clash of steel, the desperate struggle for survival, the screams of the wounded echoing through the stands. But for the Roman citizens, this was more than just bloodshed. This was a celebration of Roman might, a display of their dominance over man and beast alike. It was a grotesque form of entertainment fueled by the basest human instincts. Chapter 3. Damnatio ad bestias, Death by Beast. The Romans, masters of cruelty, reserved a special kind of terror for their most despised criminals. Damnatio ad bestias, condemnation to beasts, was a punishment designed to evoke primal fear, a slow and agonizing death at the claws and fangs of nature's most fearsome predators. Imagine being thrust into the arena, stripped bare, the eyes of thousands upon you, not with pity, but with a bloodlust that chilled you to the bone. The ground vibrates with the approach of your executioners, not men but beasts, lions, tigers, bears, leopards, starved and enraged, their musky scent filling your nostrils, a prelude to the carnage to come. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The crowd roars with anticipation. You are utterly alone at the mercy of creatures whose only instinct is to tear, to rend, to satisfy their hunger with your flesh. The terror, the sheer animalistic fear, must have been unbearable. This wasn't just punishment, it was a public spectacle, a gruesome display of Roman power designed to crush the spirits of any who dared to defy their rule. Chapter 4. Pinacle, the Sack of Horrors. Imagine, if you can stomach it, being sewn into a leather sack. Not alone, mind you, but with a menagerie of creatures whose presence would make your skin crawl. Snakes, rats, perhaps even a rabid dog. Their frenzied movements a terrifying counterpoint to the suffocating darkness that enveloped you. This, my friends, was the Pinacle, a punishment so utterly dreadful, so nightmarishly claustrophobic, that it's difficult to even comprehend the depths of terror it must have evoked. The Romans, you see, had a flair for the dramatic, for punishments that transcended mere physical pain and delved into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Once sewn into this living nightmare, you were tossed into the Tiber River, left to the mercy of the currents and the creatures that shared your gruesome prison. The feeling of the cold water seeping in, the desperate struggle for air, the agonizing bites of your companions in this macabre dance of death. It's almost too much to bear thinking about. Chapter 5. Fustuarium, Death by 1,000 Blows. In the unforgiving crucible of war, where discipline was the bedrock upon which victory or defeat rested, the Roman army stood as a paragon of order. But what happened to those who betrayed the trust placed in them? What fate awaited those who dared to break the sacred bonds of loyalty and valor? Imagine, if you will, the chilling sound of the drums, a slow, steady beat that set your heart racing. You are surrounded by your fellow soldiers, men you fought beside, bled beside, men who were once your brothers in arms, but now their faces are cold, hardened, their eyes devoid of any trace of compassion. You are accused of cowardice, of desertion, of betraying the very core of what it meant to be Roman. Your pleas fall on deaf ears, drowned out by the relentless beat of the drums. This is Fustuarium, a ritualistic execution reserved for the most egregious betrayals, a punishment designed to send a message that echoed through the ranks. Stripped of your armor, your symbol of pride and belonging, you are forced to your knees. Your former comrades form a circle around you, each man armed with a club or a rod. And then the beating begins, each blow a testament to your shame, a physical manifestation of their betrayal. The Roman Empire, for all its glory and grandeur, was built upon a foundation of unimaginable brutality. Their punishments were not mere acts of retribution, but carefully crafted spectacles designed to instill fear and obedience. From the agonizing death of crucifixion to the primal terror of being torn apart by wild beasts, these rituals stand as a testament to the dark side of human nature, a chilling reminder of what happens when power goes unchecked. These weren't just ancient practices. They were calculated displays of dominance, meant to send a clear message: defy Rome, and this could be your fate. What are your thoughts on these brutal punishments? Were they effective deterrents or simply barbaric acts of cruelty? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries and horrors of our world.